The UCLA Bruins, in the first full recruiting cycle that their head coach, DeShaun Foster, has gotten to lead, end up ranking in the top 50 in the country, number 13 in the Big Ten. Transfer portal class ranked 32 in the nation, and the top recruit, highly regarded running back Carson Cox that they brought in, and Eugene Brooks to enhance that offensive line views the top transfer that is coming in with the Bruins. And that brings us to our big interview. It has been almost exactly a year since the opportunity I had to interview DeShaun Foster right after he had taken the head coaching job with his alma mater, the Bruins. DeShaun, really appreciate you joining me here on Big Ten today. And I'm just curious, man. I mean, it's been almost a year exactly, and I know initially that had to feel like a whirlwind. How much of a blur has the last year been since then?
It's been a blur, like you said. But it's finally slowed down. You know, once we got into ball and the season started, that's when it kind of slowed down for me and everything. And I finally was able to get into a routine that I was familiar with. So just looking forward to this season, excited about it. Offseason isn't going well, so, you know, just get ready for spring ball. And these boys are lifting some weights right now, so we're just looking forward to getting into spring ball and being healthy.
And in your first opportunity to be a head coach, one of the things that we discussed even a year ago at this time, because your resume was about development of so many great running backs that you would, help nurture their skills in the years that you coached them. And I was asking you about the development of how you would be able to take that same process to becoming a head coach. And we saw that play out throughout last season. How gratifying was it to see how much better your squad was playing late in the year than where you began early?
That's what ball's all about. You know, each week you got to continue to get better. And just one thing that my guys showed, one thing we didn't quit, and we got better each week. So, you got to learn from losses. And I think my team did a really good job at that. And, we're just ready to get back on the field and spring ball and just continue to advance this program to where it needs to be.
When you look back to the first year on the job, what was something that was kind of exactly as you expected it to be when you got the big whistle? And what was something that sort of surprised you in that first year on the job?
Not too much surprised me just because I've been at this school, so I understand everything that comes with it. But it's just, you're seeing the program through a different lens. When you're the running back coach, you're just focused on your position, your recruiting area, academics just for your players. Now it's everything's just on a bigger scale. I have to tap into everything. My strength coaches, my staff, admin. So, it's the only thing that I liked about it that was really cool is that I had relationships with all these people before this. So, it was an easy transition.
We certainly saw how that transition played out with the way your squad began to progress at midseason and beyond. And now you are in the midst of leading the offseason here in year two. How different does the offseason function? Is winter conditioning going right now? Have you made the adjustments to how that would usually go?
Yeah, so we started winter conditioning. The kids came back to school January 6th, and now we're just in winter conditioning, and I'm bringing back the old school mat drills. So, it's like the 90s when you come over here to UCLA right now.
I like it. And for folks who don't know, mat drills are you waking up early, you are pounding the pavement, you're out there and you don't have pads on, but you want to make it as grueling as it would feel during a football practice or a game week, right?
As much adversity as you can apply to them, So the kids are doing a great job replying to it. I have a good group of men, so I'm just excited to see just how it all plays out spring ball and just how far we can advance.
And as a head coach, you end up making a decision at the close of the season. You move on from offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. You bring in Tino Sunseri to lead the offense this coming season. What was it about Coach Sunseri that you felt like he was the right guy for the job now?
Just a young coach who's energetic, fired up, really excited to have his first offensive coordinator job. But, he's all about the same thing I'm about, development. And, you can see what he's done with some quarterbacks that he's only had for one season. So I've known Tino since he was a kid. His father was our D-line coach in Carolina. So this is a relationship that we've had for a long time. And, I was just excited to be able to welcome to Westwood.
In the recruiting class with National Signing Day just completing here, you ended up making kind of an even split between high school recruits and recruits coming in the transfer portal. 19 to 20 are effectively the numbers with how that sort of shook out for you. Why was that the plan in having that even divide between college experience players and high school players?
Just a couple holes that I wanted to plug with the portal. I lost 42 seniors, so we just had a little bit of a couple areas that I wanted to fill, but I also wanted to continue to recruit high schools because you gotta be able to develop talent. A lot of guys aren't going to come in ready to go, but if you can develop them and get them to completely buy into the program, that's when the program can change and it can shift. So all the high school kids that we brought in, we're excited about them. We love the way that they want to be Bruins, and that's the biggest thing. I want to bring in guys that want to be here.
Well, running back Carson Cox, who I mentioned as we were coming into the interview here, out of that Inland Empire area. Of course, someone who wants to be a Bruin. A lot of folks really excited about what he'll look like wearing the jersey for the Bruins. I'm wondering, what is it about him, his skills, that has you excited?
Just a kid that, you literally have to grab his legs and bring him above his head to stop him from running. You can see his leadership just out here in winter conditioning. He's leading the freshmen. He's constantly bringing the whole group together to come work out. So, he's already asserted himself as a leader with that group. But as a running back, he's just a complete back. I call him a bell cow, somebody that can catch out of the backfield, pick up protection, runs hard, can run on first, second, and third down, can catch out of the backfield. So we're just excited to be able to use his talents and get ready for the season.
Stylistically, I don't know. The way you describe him sounds a little bit like DeShaun Foster, if I'm not mistaken here. But I mean, we'll see if he can have anywhere near that type of production for you. The way that the state of California has always been such a hotbed for recruits and schools now, as everyone seemingly in the power conference world is going national with their recruiting scope. A lot of folks have been coming in trying to nab some of the top recruits from California. How much of a focus was it for you in having 13 out of your 19 recruits be from within the state of California at the high school level?
That was huge for us. A lot of guys have left this area and been successful in other conferences and stuff. So, we just want to be able to keep our talent here. And if we can do that, then, this program can really take off. We're in the Big Ten now, so, you're playing big time ball. You have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. So this is a great opportunity to stay in California and go to the playoffs and win end of the season awards. So, I'm just going to put a fence up and just keep all these guys here. I was just glad to be able to keep those 13 guys that we got here.
And just like Cox, who had a bunch of offers from other major schools, you had players who had other opportunities who came in the transfer portal, like Joey Aguilar, who you bring in as a quarterback, Caden Robinson coming in as a wide receiver. Those two guys who have the potential to become major playmakers for you. What excites you about them?
Just they're being able that they've played together. That's huge for us. Joey's a great quarterback, a natural leader. And he has a chip on his shoulder. He's somewhere he has something to prove. So he wanted this opportunity to be able to play at a high level, and he's going to get that here at UCLA. And I'm just excited that he does have one familiar receiver that he is familiar with coming over here with him. So I'm just excited for that duo to get on the field and take over the Rose Bowl.
And with that strong finish that you guys had last season, you end up narrowly missing a bowl game. Is that a part of the discussion just with the guys who returned from last season and the success that you finished with and letting them know you can build off of that? Or do you view this as where you're almost starting from scratch again for this second season?
It's not necessarily starting from scratch, but we did put down the foundation of what this program is. And I think that we have enough guys that are coming back that they're able to relay that message to the new guys. So we're not going to mention too much of last season and what happened, but that was the groundwork, and we were able to set the foundation that we needed. And I'm just ready to put this house up, and that starts in winter conditioning and the spring ball. So these guys are pretty excited. I love the way that they're approaching workouts, just the energy that they've had out here, new and old players. So I just think that once UCLA can continue to recruit the way that I want to recruit and get the type of talent in here, just the sky's the limit.
Could not agree more. Really excited to see how the spring rolls and what things look like heading into your second season leading the Bruins, DeShaun. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you.